Hey folks, Good Guy Glenn here, and today is Saturday, May 25th, 2024, and it is Memorial Day weekend, and I'm in New Jersey, just going for a walk up here at the county park, which I walk every morning. Just thought we would do a walk and talk video. I used to do these videos all the time before I went out OTR. It's been a stressful week. For most people, they wouldn't understand why it's so stressful. I'm basically taking some time off before I start my new job, but that's what's causing me the stress. I think after 6 months of OTR and never really going home and just go all the time, that I have like a PTSD about just sitting still and doing nothing. This would have been the weekend that I left Western if I stuck to the original plan of giving them my 2 weeks notice, but instead I just left the Sunday before I was going to give my 2 weeks notice, and I left pretty much out of fear that if I would have stayed, they wouldn't have let me leave. And I know that this seems bizarre to maybe some of you who've never worked for Western Express, but apparently, from what I understand, if you give them notice that you want to leave and you want to turn in the truck on said date at said terminal, they will continue to give you loads, pushing you further and further away from the terminal. I've heard of this. It makes no sense. This basically adds up to kidnapping. So I don't know what the truth is behind that. So we're just gonna say allegedly. Another thing they'd like to do is I had plans to get picked up by family down in the Richmond terminal, and I would have stayed in the Richmond area to the 29th and then come back to Jersey. But I could have foreseen my DM telling me that I needed to bring the truck back to the Nashville terminal, which I would have had nobody to come pick me up. Now, once again, none of these things happened. I don't know if they would have happened, but I've heard stories of it happening, so I wasn't about to take the chance. So I left. I left Western Express early. I'm back in Jersey. My Jeep is still in the shop, and they still haven't really told me anything as far as how long it's gonna take. But I'm starting to get paranoid now because I need it to be done so I can start my new job. Because until I start my new job, until I'm there for a couple of weeks doing it, I won't be able to believe that it's real. Just walking the walking trail. So it's time to talk about something. Gotta talk about something, folks. I've often talked about my daughter in these videos and mentioned that one of the big reasons why I needed to get out of Western sooner than later is because she was graduating high school and that I wasn't gonna miss her graduating high school. I've also did videos on how Western made me miss her last senior play. So when I came back from OTR and I had been compiling up a trinket box for her, so finally I give her the trinket box. We do a video on the trinket box, and some of y'all make comments in the comments below about my daughter, and you're saying some lewd and rude comments about my daughter, who's 17 years old. Straight up, not only is it disrespectful, but it's also creepy and basically makes you look like you should be on Epstein's Island. Which leads me to this is what's wrong with men of a certain generation, why people don't trust truckers. I don't know, it's just disturbing and disgusting in a way. My daughter moderates this channel, so pretty much she just got rid of said people. I tolerate a lot, folks. I love your hate. Y'all know that. Like, we laugh at the stuff that people say about me in the comments. And I don't generally get rid of you unless you make some sort of like threats. It takes a lot for me to get rid of you off the channel. But if you make comments about my daughter, you're done. And that's it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Subject is over. I'm just looking forward to starting this new job, getting a fresh start. A lot of things going on. A lot of things going on in the world right now. And I think it's good to talk about things. Y'all know we got an election coming up. It's kind of disturbing what's going on. I really didn't think, I don't know if I really want to talk about it, but I really didn't think they were going to run Joe Biden. I didn't. I was a firm believer that they were going to get rid of him and try to run Gavin Newsom or something. And when I thought about it, Gavin Newsom was even more unpopular than Hillary Clinton. So that would be like a real dumb move to run him. So I guess they're stuck with old Sleepy Joe. And if you've watched this channel, you know I'm not the biggest fan of him. And unfortunately, some of y'all think because I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, or a lot of Democrats, that must make me a Republican. Well, that's wrong. Pretty much hate them too. Really hate Mitch McConnell. Really hate that whole entire Republican attitude. I have to admit, I am a bit of a fan of Donald Trump. I've met the man long before he had presidential aspirations. Then again, I don't know how long he had presidential aspirations, but long before he ran for president, let's say. I've met the man. 626 had worked for him a bunch over the years down in his New Jersey country club. And of all the places she worked, he treated her very well. I don't know, whether or not y'all don't want to think he was a good president. I just know that things weren't as bad as they are now. Just think the system is kind of messed up. And I think no matter who wins, we're in for quite a wild ride in the next coming years. Because if Trump wins, there'll be turmoil amongst the lunatics. And if Biden wins, well, people just aren't going to accept Biden winning. And they're going to call into question the whole entire election system and everything. Really disturbing time. I don't know what the future of the channel is going to bring. I'm going to see when I get to the next job how we're going to create content related to that job, related to this aspect of trucking that I'm going into. I can tell you one thing from what I understand, there's going to be a lot more to it than just trucking. And I'm kind of excited about that. I'm kind of excited about learning new things. Got to find other means of making content now that I'm not OTR. I know a lot of you tune in for the OTR stuff, and be honest with you, for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to be doing OTR. And I'll be honest, if things work out with this new job, I may never go back to OTR again. That's a real shame. I planned to give it a year or two. I really wanted to go out, scratch this itch, and go live that OTR life. But Western Express really just like poured water on that fire. It really did. And the more I researched other companies and talked to drivers in other companies, I don't think it was going to get any better. I mean, any place probably would have been better. But as a whole, I don't know where the business is going. As far as OTR trucking, seems to not be going in a good place. Seems to be that there's not going to be a whole lot of freight for the foreseeable future. The economy has to get better first. Even if Trump wins and the economy starts to improve, it's going to take some time. And then the damage is done, because these trucking companies are used to doing what they please with these drivers. I don't know. I think a shakeup is going to have to happen. Something big. Some kind of big shakeup to change things. Maybe truckers go back to being unionized. I guess can't see that happening. I do see changes coming down the pipe. I do see the people who create the problems in OTR being filtered out. I do see DOT wants to crack down on drivers because accidents are at an all-time. I don't know if these are facts or just stories. I think the days of just buying your license are going to be over soon. I think it's going to go more along the lines of how Jersey does it, where they don't allow in New Jersey second party testing. You go to your school, you train at your school, and then you go to the state and you take your test. I do believe there may be some second party testing in Jersey. I don't know. I was always told that that's not a thing, that you have to go to the state to test. I know when I went to school, I learned something. And then I go out to OTR and it just feels like the whole bottom of the barrel is out there. At least at Western Express. But in other companies too. People have no business out there driving a truck. And this has nothing to do with whether or not OTR is for you or not. You're just not safe behind the wheel. See a lot of people talking about parking. I'm gonna do a whole video on that. How they don't want to pay for parking. That just makes you look cheap. It also is funny that you admit to theft on the internet. If you don't pay for a parking spot that's reserved, it's called theft of service. And it's no different than shoplifting. And I have seen a driver or two get trespassed by the police from Pilot. You know what that means, to be trespassed from Pilot? It means you can't go to Pilot anymore. Try to use your Pilot card and your name and truck number comes up. Now, I don't know how much that's enforced. I do know that if you have a trespass on you, an order of trespass, and you violate it, it's jail time. So all you need is the one guy who realizes that you're trespassed, and then you could be in a bit of trouble. This guy over here is listening to Danzig really loud. Big fan of Danzig, but YouTube is not a fan of copyright music in the background. Where do we go if I'm not going to be doing content on OTR? Still got friends in the business. Still keeping current with what's going on. And I'm still going to be trucking. Just a local gig, which lets me be home every night as opposed to sleeping in a truck stop. Some of you who are just doing your time in OTR, I can continue showing you that there's a life outside of it, that life does indeed continue, and that there's a future for you in trucking. Plus, I have to give my haters something to hate on me for. I can't let guys like Brett down. You know? I'll just keep doing videos, keep the channel going. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's just a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of a walk and talk as I walk around the park. Couldn't walk the full loop because there were some kids walking down the one trail and they were being loud and obnoxious. Remember what I always say. Love God. Love your family. Say your prayers. Drink plenty of water. Summertime is upon us. Take your vitamins. Don't forget to have a Greek yogurt and a banana every single day. Do your pre-trip. Can save your life. And don't forget to smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so when I drop another video, you get a notification. Once again, this is Good Guy Glenn. Thanks for watching.